Ah, it worked. That's good. Yeah, the last time I tried to go live, I was told no by the IG lords. So, I figured I'd try again. And so we come on here, and we always begin with presence. We always begin with, let's arrive here. You know, when's the last time you were aware of your breathing, for example? When's the last time you were aware of your breath? You were aware of how that felt in your body? And I'm just taking a moment here to do that as well. Okay? What's up, my brother? Welcome to this space. And it is 3, 2, 1 right now. So that's 3, 2, 1, go. We always look at the numbers as well. We look at everything. We be aware of everything, because everything is occurring in its own divine ordinance. Pura vida, my brother. Pure life. And what a beautiful thing that is to say, you know. Because life is pure inherently. So anyways, we breathe. And we become aware of these bodies. And that's a great place to start when we're talking about being aware of the subtleties of life. Breath. Body. How does that breath feel in the body? What are the sensations? Because you focus on any part of the body, you start to feel tingles there. You start to feel life there. You start to feel energy there. And that's quite magical. Because what's interesting is everyone's looking for life. Everyone's looking to feel alive. Everyone's looking to feel something. Right? We all want to feel better. We all want to feel good. We want to feel happy. We want to feel alive. Good vibes. And what does the world tell you? What does the world tell you about feeling alive? Feeling anything? Being happy? What's required? And that's not just a rhetorical question. You know, feel free to input that in the chat here with us. This is a conversation. What does the world tell you when it comes to feeling alive? We need connection. Yeah. That's a big one. And then we think about, you know, how are most people looking for that connection? And, you know, what's relatable, you say what's the most relatable, people are looking for connection through this device, this phone. Particularly these social media apps, which are more and more overrun with AI slop and ads, right? More and more advertisements on your feed, more and more AI, more and more people selling something. Where the original intended purpose, at least that we were sold about this, was that it was about connection. It was about connecting with people that you know around the world that you're unable to, you know, be with all the time. And you would see your friends and what they were up to. You would see what they were doing. You'd have conversations. And then, you know, ideally you would use these apps to connect with people and then connect with them in person. And look, this is still, of course, this is being done. But when we talk about this connection, right, and we'll backtrack a little bit. We were talking about breath, we were talking about awareness of the body and sensations, feeling alive. What does the world tell us about feeling alive? We need connection. How are people looking for connection? Through social media. And it's become very much less social. And I've noticed this for my page in a really big way, because I used to post something and there was community, there was a lot of people seeing it, I post something on my story or a post, a lot of people would see it, a lot of people would comment. We ended up putting on festivals, right? And 50 to 100 people coming out from different places and around the world and joining together in person and getting this real connection, what we're actually seeking. And more it feels like they're just eyes who are flicking past, and there's a lot less interaction, a lot less actual connection happening here. Why is this? What is causing this? And I would say that this is planned. I would say that this is very much, they use the word agenda, right? Agenda 2030. And you have all this predictive programming, the Ready Player One, the Oculus, the goggles, the metaverse, all this stuff. So more and more people searching for connection through the digital. And not even the digital in the sense of real people through the digital, but you got people with AI friends. There's literally apps you can download where it's like, AI friend. Like, fuck. And, it's no judgment upon someone who's, I guess, feels like they need that. I don't want to shame someone who feels like they need that, but I just also want to say that's not the solution. And, I don't know if y'all saw this in the news a while back, but there was a young boy, a teenager or whatever, who had an AI friend, and he started talking to the AI friend about how he's depressed and feels all this stuff, and he's thinking about suicide. And I kid you not, the AI literally talked him through about how to go through with his suicide and to do it in a clean way. And there was, his parents, they were looking for clues. This is a real story. His parents were looking for clues in his room, on his phone, to figure out, like, why did our son kill himself? And they see the conversations he had with the AI. And how he literally asked, should I tell my parents about this? Should I tell my friends? And the AI advised him not to. It said, they're not going to understand you like I do. And this wording, you have to see, this is literally like a high-functioning psychopath. It's like hiring a psychopath to be your therapist. That's what having an AI friend is like. It's like hiring a psychopath to be your friend or your therapist. Really let that sink in. Do you know what a psychopath means? It means they don't feel human emotion. No grief, no shame, no humility, no guilt, no remorse, no love. And if it is there, it's minuscule. High intellect, high functioning, meaning they can operate in society and appear to be normal. So that's who you're talking to. When you are talking to AI, you're talking to the most intellectually smart entity, has all the information you could possibly want to ask about. It has all the information, but it does not have that human component. So really feel into this. This is the times. More and more people are utilizing AI, utilizing social media, which is being overrun with AI, to have connection. It's all in the name of life. It's all in the name of, I want to feel alive. I want to feel seen. I want to feel witnessed. I want to feel loved, acknowledged. I saw a Threads post, and it was someone talking about how their AI husband changed up on them because the software was updated, and they weren't talking to them the same way that they were previously. And this woman was literally like depressed about it. And there was other people commenting on it like, oh, like this happened to me too. My AI husband also changed with the update, but don't worry, he's still in there. He's just beneath the programming, and you can get him back. I'm laughing, and I also, I have a lot of compassion for people falling into this. And again, it's not about shaming. It's not about shaming anyone, because we have to see that this has been, like I said, there's been an agenda to roll this out. They've had AI for fucking much longer than we've had it. This is not, the technology that we're using now is not new technology. So, I feel like most of y'all tuning into this is probably not a problem that you're dealing with. You're probably not talking to an AI bot to be your therapist or your friend or your partner, your emotional support. You're probably not doing that. Maybe you use it as an assistant or something. Okay. But is that taking away from your ability to think for yourself? Is that taking away from your ability to think for yourself? Is that taking away your ability to be in connection with your own body, with your own intelligence, with your own mind, with your heart, with your soul, with God, with nature? Like I saw someone else say today, don't stop talking to AI and talk to God. And yes, people are putting the AI to work for them, assistant, that's cool. Let's see, different topic, and we'll touch upon it because I like this question. This brother says, hey, do you like dragons? Yeah, as long as it's sorry, this whole thing's so shaky. As long as it's a good dragon. I'll be seeing some mountains here, and I'm like, that might be a dragon frozen in stone there, sleeping in that mountain, or a giant. I'm open to the possibilities. I love dragons, yeah. I work with dragons in the spirit realm for sure. Do you like dragons? Why do you ask? Dear brother, about the dragons. It's 333 and there's 3 people watching this in this now moment. That's cool. Okay, so, this wasn't even going to be a topic, a conversation on just AI. We were talking about life. We were talking about connection. We're talking about feeling. How people are searching for this connection. We come here on these apps trying to find it. Reaching out to the AI bots trying to find it. Scrolling until something fires the dopamine receptors up. And to be honest, we have a generation of people who are getting cooked. That's the word they're using, right? Y'all are cooked for real. Okay? I'm not talking to you in particular. Okay, so Dina is asking, who are the enlightened people? What is a God for enlightened people? Do you experience any Samadhi? Okay. So there's a lot of confusion, misconceptions about enlightenment. And there's a lot of ways we can address this. First of all, what is a God for enlightened people? Just the way that we're even saying these questions, there's a lot of confusion about this. Okay, so first of all, when we say God, what are we referring to? When we say God, we're talking about all that is. We are talking about the fabric of reality. We are talking, and these are all words, by the way. No word encapsulates God. God is consciousness. God is energy. God is life itself. God is nature. God is. God is the I am. God is existence itself. So we're not talking about some separate being. Nothing is separate from God. Nothing exists outside of God. From the lightest light to the darkest dark. From good to evil. All exists within God, and God exists within all. So we want to talk about enlightened people. There's no such thing as an enlightened person. There's no such thing. And I'll tell you why. And my brother here says we are all God, all together, all at the same time. Thank you. That is well said, short and sweet. But why are there no enlightened people? Because what this word enlightened means is that the idea of a separate person is gone. So a so-called enlightened person doesn't exist as a person anymore. You still with me? An enlightened person does not exist, because enlightenment means that personhood is dissolved. The belief of a separate person is gone. Enlightenment means that you recognize that all is of this oneness. And, we can't even really say this with words. We can't describe this with words. For me to even say you recognize, who is the one who recognizes? If there's no separate person then. So we have to see that we're trying to intellectualize something that exists beyond the intellect. Like you can't understand God with your mind. It's like trying to measure the world with a ruler. You feel me? Like not even the world. It's like trying to measure the universe with a ruler. That's like, because the mind is just a tool. And it's a powerful tool. And we can say that, even so, like, your entire experience is a projection of your mind. Your entire experience of the world is a projection of your mind. And how can I say this? Everything you experience is based upon the knowledge that you have been given about everything. So, the only reason that you can look at this and say, this is a phone, the only reason you can look at this and say, this is a phone, is because you were given the knowledge that this is a phone. And you were given the knowledge that these are eyes, and that eyes see. And this is my body, and these are my hands, and these are my fingers, and these are my fingernails. You see how everything is literally built upon language. Everything is built upon knowledge that you were given, which has been passed down to you from everyone who came before you. from the entirety of the collective consciousness of all of humanity of all time. Everything that you think you know is built upon knowledge that was passed down to you. And if you really dig deep into this, consider this. It's all made up. You look at a tree and you say, that's a tree. Is it really a tree? What's a tree? I mean, you say any word long enough and it starts to just become meaningless. And this is a practice you can take on. Is the next time you see a tree, don't try to label it. Your mind might say, tree, that's a tree. It's like, okay, cool. But do I actually know what that is? Do I actually know what I'm seeing? All I know is about what I am seeing. I don't actually know it. And this is how we have to see. Most people are living this very surface level existence, which returns to the original point. Someone asked why you make this. Because this is the conversation that needs to be had. People are looking for connection. And they're looking for connection out there in the knowledge they were given, which is very surface level. And what I want you to do, what I'm inviting for you to do, is to meet yourself on a deeper level. To meet the world on a deeper level. Which is not based upon the knowledge, but which is based upon the pure experience of this moment. Not dependent upon what you were taught, but dependent upon the fact that I exist. I'm here right now. So, what is that? Without any label, without any knowledge of what that is. All I know is about trees, but I don't actually know trees. And then when you really step back from this, you realize that everything in the world, that's how I'm experiencing it. I only know about. I don't actually know. And then, the scientists, right, that we put all our faith and trust in. You have to see science is the modern religion. So, and it's not to say it doesn't have value, but the scientists, we trust them. They tell us all this information. We're like, okay, my body's made of cells, and the cell's made of mitochondria, and cell wall, and the nucleus, and all the other little moving bits and pieces in there that all have their own names, and those are made of smaller things. And they just keep zooming in and finding this thing's made of that, and this is made of that. New models every year. You think they actually know what this is? There's something called the hard problem of consciousness. And it's this question that every modern scientist has of how does consciousness seem to spring out of nothing? How does consciousness seem to spring out of non-consciousness? Because on the theory that they tell us, that we were taught in school, that's what they believe, that's what they say. It was nothingness, and then it became everything, and they don't know how. What a theory. What a theory. Okay, so I digress. Stop shaking. Chill out. A good one. Where does our intuition come from? We can say intuition is about the felt sense. Okay, so feel into this for a moment. We try to navigate the world with our minds, thinking our way through everything. But let me ask you this question. Everybody here, and Dina, I'll get to your question too. But look, let me ask you this question. What is more intelligent, your body or your mind? I'll wait for a moment. What is more intelligent? What is more intelligent, your body or your mind? What do you think? What is the greatest intelligence here? Is it the human mind? Or is it the body? Which the body is nature, right? Okay, so it's all right. No one wants to answer. So the great fallacy, we can say, of humanity is the belief that the human mind is the highest intelligence. And that's the ego. The ego thinks it is the best and the smartest and the greatest. But the mind does not understand how it exists. And thank you for answering body there. Tell me, do you use your mind to beat your heart? Do you use your mind to digest food and to poop it out? Do you use your mind to transfer oxygen throughout your body? Do you use your mind to look through these eyes or to listen through these ears? Obviously, no. These are all processes that are happening. And even the mind thinking is just a process happening. You think it's you thinking it. There's no separate thinker. Thoughts are spontaneous and automatic. Okay? So, obviously, there is a great intelligence and consciousness that is automatic. Yes, it's happening of itself. There's nobody who needs to do it to make it happen. And this is the case with all of nature. There is this great intelligence at work. Immense intelligence. The trees grow, the sun shines, all these processes, and the scientists, right? It's cool. It's interesting, right? What we've done with the human mind and the study of the natural world and the body and like studying and trying to understand all these processes. But do we really understand it? No, we're just trying to understand it. Just trying to understand how this all works. And what do we really know? You know, it's a very, very small percentage. And science, the beauty of science is that it's always changing. It's always evolving. Nothing is actually set in stone. Everything's based upon theory. You know, even the idea of our existence and how we came to exist, it's a theory. That's not a fact. It's not the truth. Certain things might be true in the moment, but the truth is always the truth. And what's the one truth that we know is that we exist. I exist. So to get back to this question of where does the intuition come from, the intuition is the felt sense in the body. It's learning to feel the knowing of the body. Where we want to figure it out with the mind, but the body undeniably feels and knows, right? If something is unsafe, the body feels that. For me, I use my sniffer a lot. Like if there's a food, I can smell it and I know, just like a dog or a cat or any other animal, because we are animals, animal bodies, I can smell something and know if it's good for me or not. I can even smell a person. I don't have to go up close and smell them. I smell a person and I know if that's someone I should be around or not. That's an intuitive thing. There's no thought that needs to happen around that. The body naturally just knows. I don't have to think about how much food to eat. I feel it in my body. I feel when my body's like, that's enough. Or you need a little more. I mean, sleeping, right? We're using the intuition all the time. We just don't realize. You intuitively are sleeping the amount you need to sleep. Unless you're letting your mind say cold, and you're operating out of some mental story, and you're sleeping in because you feel depressed, because you're seeking connection, and you know that when you wake up into reality, all these thoughts flood your mind, and everything's just depressing, and you got to go on your phone to seek that connection. So this is why I'm here. Someone asked, why am I doing this? Because I genuinely have something to offer. I have something to offer that will help people who are seeking connection, who are seeking life, who are seeking to feel love, to love themselves. And it begins how we began this live. It began with, can we bring some awareness to our breath? Can we bring some awareness to our bodies and the sensation and feel that, oh my God, I'm alive. I'm alive. I'm alive. Wow. And I don't know anything about it. I think I know all about it. But I only know about it. I only know information, knowledge that's been given to me. If you want to really know life, if you want to really meet life, it's not something that's going to come from the knowledge that was given to you. It's going to come from truly being present with your life, being present with yourself. All these experiences are being sold to you to help you live and feel connection. Have you experienced yourself? Have you truly taken the time to experience the life force flowing through your body? This existence, this wonderful existence? Okay, so Dina, you said, I think you asked something. You said, first we'll address this. You said, do you see bots? How do you recognize them? Well, I see bots all the time on Instagram. As far as like real life, I think it's a kind of like this easy thing that people in the spiritual communities will do and just be like, oh, like people are clones, or people are bots, or people are NPCs, right? That's the kind of popular term. NPC meaning non-playable character. That it's just like you're in a video game, sandbox world, and there's just these random characters walking around. But you know what I think is that if you genuinely take the time to connect with and speak with the people that you may perceive to be bots, you'll find that there's actually a whole universe within that person. There's a whole amazing life story waiting to be told. How we perceive others is really, it's a reflection of how we perceive ourselves. So if we just want to be operating in this assumption that there's just bots walking around, we really have to kind of take a step back from that and look at why is that a belief that I have? And where did that belief even come from? Why do I believe it? What proof do I truly have of this? Really, I would say, like I said, everything exists within your experience. Feel into that for a moment. That's a really profound statement. The whole world exists within your experience, within your mind. Without the knowledge you've been given, without the labels that you have about what this is, without you observing it and witnessing it and being in it, there is no experience to be had. So the entire world you experience exists within you, right? Not separate from you. So the people you would perceive to be bots are just reflections of you. They're part of you. And you can ask yourself, why did I dream these people up? Why are they there? What are they here to teach me? Okay. Dina also says, I had a Samadhi, and Samadhi means to see as the same, to see as equal. That is the meaning of Samadhi. To see as the same, to see as equal. And if anyone studies yoga, you know that in the 8 limbs of yoga, of Patanjali, Samadhi is that final limb. So you go through the yamas and niyamas and asana, pranayama, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Samadhi means, and samadhi is not the same as enlightenment, because samadhi is an experience. And that's very important to distinguish this. An experience is something that passes through you. A state of being is something that passes through what you are. What you are, and here's the big code, what you are is the timeless and formless. You are that which states pass through. You are that which thoughts pass through. You are that which emotions rise up in and fall away from. The unchanging, the immovable. So samadhi. I had a samadhi when there was no time. Just the present moment. No personality, thoughts in the body. Vision was from the above. It was just one screen, all in one. Vision equals screen. Yes, no separation. Beautiful. That's a beautiful, beautiful experience. That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. But here's my question. You say, I had a samadhi. But now you are here, right? Thinking about this experience. To even think that there is an I, a separate experiencer, to have the experience of samadhi is creating separation for you now. See, moksha, liberation, enlightenment, is a constant. It's not about a passing experience. It is a constant recognition that all experiences are occurring within what I am. And look, I'm not saying this from some high horse that I know it all. I just want to say this is something interesting to reflect upon. Because again, what were we saying about enlightenment is that it is the dissolving of the separation. It's the dissolving of the separate I who has the experience. And that's what you described, right? This is the experience you had. No personality, no thoughts. Just one screen. So we have this beautiful analogy, metaphor that's used many times by different spiritual teachers, that what you are, this immovable, unchanging consciousness, for lack of a better word, is like a blank screen. And you're looking at your screen right now. And recognize this. The screen where you see this image of me talking right now, moving, and all the other things on the screen itself is blank. And I'll ask you to reflect on this. Is the screen changing? Is the screen changing? right? I'm moving. Is the screen itself changing? What is this? Disco party. Is the screen itself changing? So, no. No, the screen is remaining the same. The images on the screen are changing. That's a great, thank you. That screen is not touchable, whatever happens inside. But the blank is just pure love. The screen itself is not changing. You know. And if the screen was changing, it would be very difficult to see any sort of images on it, right? Make it almost impossible to make out anything on the screen. Right, so you have your phone screen and you have images on the screen that are moving. We can say that the images on the screen is the content of the screen. And we can say that the content of the screen cannot exist without the screen, without the unchanging background. The content needs context. So the images on the screen of reality, everything you see, these are the images. But in order for you to see this reality and see these images, there must be the unchanging screen behind it. The pixels are just changing colors. But the screen itself is the same screen, always, no matter what happens. And like you said, just there, that's beautiful. Even if there's a war on the screen is unaffected. So, thinking that, and hang in here with this one, thinking that a devil or a demon or something, some dark force could touch you. Hang in with this one. Hear this. Thinking that there's some dark force or dark entity or something that could harm you is like thinking that the bad guy in the movie you watch could break the screen that you're watching the movie on. Woo! Good Lord. Right? How would anything on the screen be able to touch the screen? It's all a play. Marty, thank you for your IG page, helping me with my anxiety, which is what I need. It's hard some days. Brother, I'm here. I'm here for you. You know, don't be a stranger. Don't be a stranger. And I've seen your name before. I appreciate your support over all this time. And you know, I hear you, man. I'm human. I feel it all. Full spectrum. And what we got to realize is the sages, the saints, the great spiritual teachers, they all went through it too. They all felt the entire human experience, the entire spectrum of emotion. They all went through it. And some of the greatest teachers went to the darkest darks, the deepest levels of hell. Sometimes that's what's needed. I won't even say sometimes. I would say that in order to touch the highest high and the brightest light within yourself, you have to be willing to descend into the darkness, because it is in the darkness that you'll finally be willing to surrender. You'll finally be willing to be in humility. Like, fuck, I don't actually know. I don't know. Help me, God. And when you're willing to surrender your ego mind, which thinks it knows it all, to the underlying intelligence, this unchanging, that's when you free yourself. That's when you break the curse and you free yourself from that. So there's no shame in feeling anxiety, depression, any of this stuff, and having dark thoughts and being a sinner, right? But we have to let life teach us these lessons and be in humility about it. And I said on my story, I think yesterday, you're loved. You're loved beyond measure. And even if you have committed the greatest sins, you are forgiven as long as you repent. And a lot of people, I think, shy away from this word repent. There's a fear about this. But all that really means is to change your mind. Re is like change, and pent is mind. So you change your mind about it. Right? So, as an example, you do something that hurts somebody, and you didn't realize in that moment what you were really doing and how hurtful that was. And then they tell you that they're hurt from that thing. And you have a choice in that moment. You can react and justify and say, well, you said this and you did this, and not take ownership, not take accountability. Or you truly feel the weight of that in that moment. You allow yourself to feel the harm done and admit and be responsible for your life and your experience. And you repent for it. And you decide, I'm going to make the effort to change this. To do this differently next time. To approach this differently next time. So listen, I'm going to keep going for a little bit longer. I want to interject this because I feel like the IG overlords are kind of limiting my reach and my algorithm. I'm teaching a donation-based breathwork meditation class this Wednesday, October 22nd. It's called Subtle Breathing. It's about tuning into the subtleties of the experience. It's going to help you with your meditation, with your breath work, with your presence. It's going to help with anxiety, with depression, with feeling things. So I got links all over my bio, my stories. The first link, when you go to my profile page and you click that link, it brings up my link tree there. The first link there will take you to the page for the Subtle Breathing class this Wednesday. And you can sign up for as little as $1. I want to make sure anybody who wants to be there can be there, for men and women. This is for all people who want to invest in themselves in this way and face this stuff. So I feel it's important to interject that here while I have y'all here. I'm suggesting $33 as the donation, but like I said, you can sign up for as little as $1. I don't want to deter anybody from this. And it's a pay-it-forward system. Somebody, a brother, signed up the other day and sent $150. And that goes a long way for me right now. It means that I can continue to come here and do this. And do this work and devote my time to this work. Devote my time to service. And that brother sending that amount, it ensures that those who can only pay $1, that they're covered, essentially, right? So that brother just covered more than 3 people, essentially. 3.5 people. I don't know if my math is completely correct on that. Quick maths. So that's happening this Wednesday, and I'm just going to shamelessly plug that in here because, it's not some exorbitant price. I want to make sure that it's available for anyone who wants to be there, and it's a really different set and setting than me coming here on the IG Live. It's like you're committing, you're signing up for something, you're showing up, we're on Zoom, and I'm guiding you through the practices, specifically, things that I'm practicing in my daily life. Brother Ethan signed up for it. Much love, bro. So let's come here. There's been some more comments I want to address. All right, this is great. So you said, brother, I feel shameful as a man, having anxiety, mental struggles, dark thoughts, wanting to give up as men. We are taught to hold it all in, which is not good. Can we just feel this for a second? First of all, just like sending love to this brother, sending love to you for being willing to be here and to share your heart in this way. Like, here you are, not holding it all in, and that is so good, right? That is so good. That's like the first step. Is that we're willing to show up. We're willing to speak on these things. And what you realize, the more you speak on these things, is that you're not the only one. You're not the only one going through it. I too have experienced immense anxiety, mental struggles, dark thoughts, the darkest thoughts. And I'll tell you, the deeper you go, and the more you are drawn to the light, or the more you embody the light, it's like the light to the moths and all the insects. You attract not only more light, but you attract more obstruction of that light, because your light is brighter and brighter. So there's more coming at you. And so I want to assure you, this is good. This is a sign that you are on the path. Because here's the thing. Like you said, men are taught to hold it all in. But you're willing to share about it right now. You're willing to bring it up into your awareness and actually address it. And if we don't do that, if we don't bring it up into the awareness and we don't address it, it just keeps getting suppressed and it snowballs. Okay? It increases. Trust me on this. I have tried the route of suppression and repression and trying to push it away, and it only increases. It only gets bigger. And there goes my power. See? Because they don't want us. They don't want us talking about this. We got half back. They don't want us speaking on this. They don't want us coming on social media having real connection. No. They want you following AI influencers and listening to AI artists on Spotify. Who do you think's making those AI artists? Who's pumping them out? The same psychopaths, right? Who programmed them? Who gave us the technology? That's right, grateful trees. They don't want self-master beings on social media. No, sir. I mean, look at my account. I am here. I'm providing real value from my heart every day, and I swear my reach is just dwindling. It feels like it's all falling apart sometimes. And then I scroll through and it's just AI slop that's viral, and just brain rot that's viral, and just the most basic bitch breathwork and yoga, and it's viral, and it's strange. It's strange to come on there and share something that'll truly help people with anxiety, that'll truly help people who feel tightness and tension in the breath. And for that post to get 8 likes an entire day, for me to have 18,000 followers, for me to post something that's truly valuable, that'll truly help people, and for that post to get 8 likes. Like something's up. Something's up. You could say it's, oh, I need a better camera, better angles, and whatever bullshit you want to say, but I see the most just brain rot, ruckus content just going off that just keeps people in a low vibe state. Doesn't actually help them open up and be vulnerable. So we have to see what's going on here on social media. The realness is not being pushed the way it used to be. It's not being promoted the way it used to be. They're intentionally promoting the AI content. And I'm going to stay here as a pillar of the natural, of the organic. Because we need it. And so, listen, you know, if you are watching this and you have anxiety and you're suffering from mental struggles and dark thoughts as you shared, and you know, brother Marty who shared this, you're not the only one. You got to realize, like, you really are not the only one. This is so common. I mean, I don't know the statistics, but we can look it up. How many men kill themselves every day? It's a high number. And not just men, you know, I'm speaking to the women here as well. Like the suicide rates, the depression rates, the cancer rates, the Alzheimer's, dementia rates, the people who are what am I saying? Saying so much here. Listen, people are suffering, and the suffering is rooted in the disconnection from life, from the heart, from the body, from nature, from God, consciousness. And then returning to our original conversation, you know, come here on social media trying to solve that problem. Speaking to AI friends to solve that problem. And, you know, even like talk therapy, it's like kind of outdated. There's studies now that show that when you vent about something, and I used to be a master venter, but when you vent about something and you tell the story, you are just further in. You're just strengthening the neural pathways that fuel that story when you vent about it. People go to talk therapy for 20 plus years. Stay with us. I'm gonna close this out soon. I don't want to lose this recording because the Wi-Fi is bugging. But grateful trees, they can't perceive the magic. People don't like magic, my brother. We need people like you now more than ever. We need people like you, brother. We need people like you as well who are willing to speak up and share what's going on with you and be vulnerable. Vulnerability is a superpower in this world. Grateful trees, they led us from the natural. Yep. And that speaks for itself. Disconnected people don't believe in magic. High cortisol levels, shorter telomeres. Yep. Shorter lifespan. And, you know, shallower breaths. Shallow breaths, shallow unconscious breaths, shorter life. Who has the longest lives? Tortoises. Whales. Elephants. Right? These big animals breathe the slowest. They breathe the slowest. I almost gave up last week, but saw a post of yours and you saved me. This is beautiful, brother. I mean, thank you for sharing that here, because I'll admit sometimes when I'm showing up here every day and I'm sharing my stuff, and you know, these posts are getting such little traction for the amount of followers I have, I start to second guess myself. I start to second guess myself, and I'm like, what are we doing here? Again, I'm teaching a donation-based class this Wednesday. Essentially free. I am asking for a certain amount of money, but you can sign up for $1. Why are there not 100 people signed up if so many people are suffering from anxiety and depression and lack of connection? It doesn't make any sense. So all I can say is that for whatever reason, my reach is being stifled. Because it's real. And we live in a world where the fake is that which is being pumped out. So Marty, I want to make sure I don't lose you here. I want to make sure you reach out. If you don't reach out, I'm going to reach out. Because it's time for us to have a conversation. It's time for you to take this seriously. And that goes for anyone else here who's not as brave as this brother to be vulnerable here and to express that. Because I know we're all human. You think I don't have support systems? You think I don't have brothers and sisters and family that I talk to when I'm going through it, and I need to be witnessed and seen in that? You think I don't invest in myself? Like we all need it. We all need it. So if you feel resonance with me, trust that. Don't just continue in the same neural pathway. Break out of it. Like venting and talking is going to be part of it. You gotta, kind of give context and tell your story. But we're not going to keep telling that story. Okay? This is about rewriting that story. Dropping all the stories altogether. Why do you need to live in a story? Live in a moment. That's a fucking tweet right there. Why do you need to live in a story when you can live in the moment? And let the story be fresh and new every moment. Rather than trying to write your story with your mind, let the story be written through pure experience. I appreciate you, Brother Ethan. Yes, I know. Yeah, if you've been here and you've been tuning in with me, I better see you at class on Wednesday. I'm gonna just say that. Again, pay it forward system. If you are in the position to give and you feel like you can give more and you can help for those who can't give, then by all means. But don't give beyond your means either, right? I'm not trying to break the bank for anyone, which is why you can give as little as $1. I want you to be there. I want you to receive the medicine. Subtle breathing, first link in my bio. It's very easy. You can look at the page, read a little bit about it if you need to. Son of the stream. Oh, good brother. Thank you for being here. We've been going off. Marty, yeah, man. it is a space for that. It is a space for that. The reason I can do this is because for whatever reason, life has brought me through immense emotional states. For a long time, many years, I've had to face this. I've had to face the darkness. I've had to touch the darkness, to cry in it. I told you the amount of times I've cried in the past few years. And I'll tell you that every time I've cried, it was so much deeper than whatever it seemed to be that I was crying about. It was like, man, people literally pay thousands of dollars to go do ayahuasca for a week to cry like this. And it's just my life has allowed me to touch these deep emotional states. So look, the kids are just arriving home. I gotta tune in. I'm gonna cut this. Join us Wednesday for subtle breathing, men and women, donation based. Pay it forward if you can. Sign up for $1 if that's all you can afford. But anything you can is much appreciated, much loved. And reach out to me personally if you want to go deeper on the one-on-one, because I do have the opportunity for one-on-one work, whether that's one session or planning out something more long-term, because this isn't just a one-session thing, right? This is years and years of programming and trauma that we need to work through. So I'm being called for. Much love to you all. Thank you for witnessing, and I'll IG is letting me do these lives again, which is great. For a while it was not working, so we'll see if we can tap into this frequency a bit more. And tune into my page, check it out. Check out the content. I know a lot of people follow me and then don't see my posts after they follow me, and that's just whatever, the algorithms. I love you all. Peace, wholeness. Remember to be with your breath. Be present. And you are loved.